For most business owners, they work hard, but they never feel financially secure. Profit first is a proven system that will actually break that cycle.
If we're not growing, you're not growing.
Hey guys, I'm Nathan Rigney and welcome to another podcast episode where today we're talking about understanding your financial position in your business, a guide for business owners to find their profit in their business. We're going to talk about profit first today and why you should implement it and just some really basic information about why, obstacles, everything. So guys, before we get on to today's podcast, let's quickly just recap last week's episode. We talked about overcoming financial fear. If you missed it, I reckon that you go back and check it out. We discussed how financial fear can paralyze us from taking action and a strategy around addressing fear and how you can actually move forward. This week, we're going to take it one step further, addressing how to gain control over your finances using the profit first methodology. Financial control, it is critical for small business success. And unfortunately, for most small business owners, they don't actively think about profit, let alone having a strategy to have profit. For most small business owners I've seen out there, and even with a lot of my colleagues, we've identified that a lot of small business owners, they are totally blindsided to the finances of their business. With their accounting reports, they're quite meaningless. They can't read them, don't understand them. And deeply ingrained in them is behaviors that are holding back their business growth. For most business owners, they work hard, but they never feel financially secure. Profit first is a proven system that will actually break that cycle. Let's talk about traditional accounting and how that fails business owners. So the traditional formula is revenue or turnover, sales, less expenses equals profit. So that formula is correct, there's nothing wrong with it, but in context, what it's basically saying is, hey, business owner, sell lots, then spend money on the suppliers and any other business expenses, pay yourself an inconsistent amount of money, and at the end, you might have a profit. And in this model, profit essentially is not even a consideration. It's basically last. And what we know is what's last is not important, right? And what I see is that most businesses, when they have this mindset of the traditional accounting thought about sell and then pay expenses and hope for profit at the end, is that they work really hard week after week, month after month, years and years, and they have a business that if you were to try and sell it tomorrow, it would be worthless compared to all the hard work and the effort you've put into it. The focus in this model is all about selling, and you can't sell yourself out of a problem. You might know if you sell a product, you know your gross profit between, hey, I bought this, I'm selling it for this, and I bought it for that, that's my gross profit, right? But there's no afterthought about what the final profit is after allowing all the other typical overheads that a business has. Let's introduce profit first, which completely turns upside down that whole accounting profit formula. And the way we look at it in profit first is that we say, hey, let's take our revenue, our sales, less our profit, and that equals our expenses. Essentially what we're saying in changing this formula around is that, hey, you're still going to collect your sales as what you've done, but then we're going to put profit as our top priority, which means that we want you to pay yourself first. We want to put profit aside first, and then we're going to only spend what is remaining on operational expenses in the business. So in context, what does this mean? It means you're going to put a priority around profit. Firstly, you're going to actually take a predetermined percentage of the cash you received from sales and put it aside in a separate bank account that we call profit. Second is you're going to find ways to improve your profitability, and it's now your main focus. What expenses can you reduce, remove, or renegotiate? Where can you find it, improve a fit? And where can you get rid of wastage or unproductive products or services? What we're doing in profit first is we're putting profit as a top priority. And we're making it your focus, giving you the necessary controls as well at the same time to have a business that now has the potential for growth, is financially stable, and is a business that returns a profit for the ongoing risk and investment you made to have that business to start with. So let's just look and tie this back to typical pain points that I see. A lot of business owners that are doing the traditional accounting model of hoping for the profit at the end and just paying all the expenses. And what I typically see is they're struggling to pay themselves a decent wage. They have a lot of anxiety around tax obligations and the amounts of money they owe creditors. Always feeling like there's never enough cash, no matter how much revenue comes in or how many sales come in. And then I guess when we start looking at all these things, for anyone who's an outsider, it's not a business owner, you'd say that model's not working. It's now time to ditch that traditional approach. It's not working. It's time to try something new, and it's time to put a priority, a focus on having your profit being the top priority. Let's talk about the core principles of profit first. There's 4 core principles. The first one is small plates. I want you to think about all the cash that's sitting in your business, but it's on one massive plate. When all that cash is sitting on one big plate, from an unconscious state, we think we have a lot more than what we have. But if you were to split all of this cash on a big plate amongst smaller plates on a percentage basis where it's needed, we'd firstly have a different feeling towards how much cash we have and the relationship on how we spend it and what focus we have about spending the cash on every plate for its intended purpose. This way of thinking connects with the scientific theory of Parkinson's law, where expenses expand or they increase to match the available cash to. Have you ever heard about people out there who have got massive incomes? Every time they get a pay increase, their life sort of matches to that income, but yet someone's, and I've seen this in the past, earning $400,000 a year and they've been doing it for years and years, but they still rent and have no assets to their name. It's that same Parkinson's law theory. Parkinson's law determines a mix of our human behaviours that will find it difficult to differentiate between what's essential spending and what's discretionary spending. Dividing cash into purpose-driven accounts like profit, taxes, owner's pay, operating expenses, the total visible amount on each one of those plates or bank accounts then becomes limited. And this mimics the concept of having smaller plates. This is why Profit First we use model bank accounts to allocate funds for specific purposes. The second principle of Profit First is to serve sequentially. The Profit First principle of serving sequentially emphasises the intentional order in which money is received and allocated to ensure that a business prioritises its profitability first, paying money into taxes, and then into an owner's compensation account before covering operational expenses. So this deliberate sequence is about changing the way you as a business owner thinks about cash and cash flow, shifting the focus from simply converting costs to building a sustainable and profitable business. We allocate funds in a particular order, being profit, taxes, owner's pay and expenses. Whereas in the traditional accounting, profit is whatever remains after expenses. There's no real thought about it. It's receive the cash, pay your expenses, hope for profit at the end. By allocating your profit first, it then ensures that the business generates a surplus. And that should be one of your business's ultimate goals. Taxes, they're important as well. It comes next because, unfortunately, like the saying goes, death and taxes, they're a guaranteed in life, right? And with taxes, failing to prepare for them creates stress. And when payments are due, it can cause a lot of anxiety. So allocating money for taxes ensures you never ever get caught off guard or scrambling to cover for taxes for the income or profits you've made. The third one is owner's pay, because you should compensate yourself for all your hard work. As a business owner, you work hard and you deserve to be compensated fairly too. You're the number one employee and you should be paid like the number one employee. But too often, owners are last to get paid, sacrificing their personal well-being for the business and just never getting paid what they're worth. So by making this important, we're making sure that in Profit First, by making this one of the top accounts that we're paying to, that your livelihood is protected and all your efforts are actually valued. So the last one is operating expenses, and it's the last for a good reason. By allocating funds for profit, taxes and owner's pay first, you impose limits on the amount available for operating expenses. This forces you to run your business more efficiently, making sure that only essential costs are being paid for and avoiding unnecessary spending. The next or Profit First principle is removing temptation. So the principle of removing temptation in Profit First focuses on safeguarding your allocated funds, particularly for profit and taxes, by moving them into accounts that are intentionally harder to access. This separation reduces the temptation to dip in to these reserves, ensuring that you and your financial priorities remain intact. A real life example, it would be like saying, hey, I've gone on a diet, let's get rid of all the chocolate in the house and don't buy any more chocolate. It's really simple. It's just basically saying, hey, when we look at the bank accounts, let's bank at another bank instead of, if you bank with Commonwealth Bank, you're going to go maybe put your taxes in your profit account, maybe at ING, where accessing that money is a little bit harder. So the fourth principle that we're going to talk about is enforcing a rhythm. The principle of enforcing a rhythm focuses on establishing a consistent schedule for managing your finances. This regular habit of allocating cash received in your business, as an example, every fortnight brings you and habits that eliminate the chaos of ad hoc financial decisions. So, why does the Profit First model work? Because it rewires your financial habits. And it focuses on intentionally giving you the discipline on cash flow management by putting profit on your number one top priority, and as an owner, giving you the well-being to be at the forefront. It transforms businesses from going from paycheck to paycheck. It's taking you to a position where you can operate your business sustainably whilst also thriving your business as an enterprise. So let's talk about a real life example, a success story of one of my clients who is doing Profit First. I touched very briefly about Michael in our last podcast. And before Profit First, Michael and his wife, they felt overwhelmed. They definitely lived invoice to invoice, often fighting about money. Michael's wife wanted him actually to quit his job. She wanted him to quit his job, quit the business, get a job that had that regular pay coming in. And the thing for these guys is that they were on a treadmill. They were running so hard, but they were going nowhere. I convinced them to implement Profit First, and they now have savings. They have clarity, and they have the confidence to reinvest in their business. Michael also has a little bit of a happy story here, recently upgraded his truck, and he also paid it with cash, and he didn't have to borrow any money. He now has a relationship with his business. He has a relationship with the financial side of his business that considers the financial impact of his decisions. Before, he would just make decisions and he wouldn't know the impact and how much it was going to cost him if things went wrong. He can now have an annual holiday, and the best part is he doesn't have that guilty feeling that he should be earning money, so i.e. working, rather than being on holidays. So guys, I think this is a really good story to talk about Profit First and your struggles as a business owner. And if you're nodding your head thinking, that's me, and I want to feel less anxious about money, then this system can work for you too. Let's address common objections I often see when it comes to setting up Profit First in any business. What if I don't have enough money to allocate and I can't afford to set money aside for profit, taxes, and other allocations? Start small. Start just allocating 1% of profit and just start building the habit. Start wherever you can. Profit First isn't about finding more money. It's about putting a priority around managing your money and having a relationship with the finances of your business. It's about managing what you already have. The system works because it forces you to have some discipline and focuses on you having intentional spending. If you can't afford to allocate 1%, how will you afford to keep running the business the way you are now? The second objection I get is, I already have an accountant or a bookkeeper. They said Profit First doesn't work. So my first point with this, anyone who says this, is what is the alternative option that your accountant or your bookkeeper has presented to you? And if they have presented something, has it worked? And if they're yet to provide guidance on a system that can help you, when are they going to do it? You need a system that's going to help you and your profitability in your business. Remember, your bookkeeper is there to ensure that your Xero file, your MYOB file, whatever accounting system you're using is up to date. And your accountant, your tax agent, is typically there to ensure you lodge all your ATO related tax compliance on time and being up to date. But is your bookkeeper or accountant, are they considering ways to help you improve your profit? Do they care if your business sells one day for an absolute fortune amount of money, like a great huge amount of money? Are they going to be there to help you and your family have the life it deserves? The Profit First system gives you a direct hands-on approach for your business to manage its finances without replacing your accountant or your bookkeeper. The third objection I often see is, I can't afford to take profit out. I need every dollar to cover every expense. As we said earlier, expenses expand to fit revenue. Parkinson's law shows that businesses naturally overspend when they have excess cash in their account. So by reducing what's available for expenses, you're forced as a business owner to operate more efficiently. Profit First exposes the inefficiencies in a business. Allocating Profit First highlights that unnecessary spending, and it encourages you to be leaner as an operator. If you don't show priority towards profit now, when will you ever? Waiting until the right time often means it never happens. Profit First isn't about adding complexity or any sort of strain to your business. It's about building financial habits, having financial structure that makes you a profitable business and actually puts profit as a priority in your day-to-day running of your business. These objections that I see often stem from fear of change, but starting small and focusing on incremental improvements can yield a significant amount of results. I want to invite you guys to dive deeper. If this sounds like the solution you've been looking for, I'm hosting a live masterclass webinar to guide you through Profit First, to guide you through the Profit First implementation. You're going to learn more details and more strategies to help you get your business on track. And any questions you got, they're going to get answered. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Make sure you secure your place now. I'm providing this webinar early February 2025, and I'm holding this once off for free. Yes, it's once off I'm doing this, and it is free. There is no cost to you, no hidden costs, and it's just for you guys to go away and take away some more information, to get some vital takeaways, to help you get started on your own Profit First journey. Shoot us an email, reach out, and we'll get you on our mailing list. In fact, when you do that as well, we're going to send you our free cash flow guide, where it's going to help you identify where you are today and to help assess the financial health of your business. Finishing up, guys, let's reinforce the benefits of Profit First. Imagine having financial clarity, paying yourself consistently, and eliminating cash flow anxiety. That is the power of Profit First. Picture this, in 6 months' time from now, you're paying yourself consistently. The tax season is no longer something that causes stress, and your business is running like a well-oiled machine. That's the reality of Profit First, and it's waiting for you to implement it. Let me reassure you that small steps lead to big change. Start where you are. Let Profit First guide you to financial freedom. It's as simple as opening up a bank account just for profit and transfer every week whatever you've received in your bank, 1%, into a profit account. It's an easy starting point. Remember, you don't need to figure this out by yourself all alone. I'm here to guide you step by step on the path to financial clarity and freedom. If you've got any questions, there is going to be more content coming out weekly, and I'm pleased to share this with you guys. I'm Nathan Rigney, I'm the Profit Generator. I'm a Profit First professional of 2024, and I'm here to help you find the profit in your business. Let's go.